Chapter 1 of Hatchet. Brian is riding to his father in Canada in a single-engine plane to meet him. After a while, the pilot gets a heart attack and has to stop piloting. Brian takes control. Then Brian realizes that he must dive the plane into a lake. He pulls down the throttle and throws up. Chapter 2 of Hatchet. Brian is diving the plane down in a downward motion, still about to crash into the lake. He then crashes and he's then on a and realizes the plane runs out of gas, so it's just forward. He's just diving now. After a few more minutes, Brian eventually crashes into the lake.
Chapter 3. Brian's plane is crashing. Brian swims to the surface and faints from a head injury.
Chapter 4. Brian wakes up after the plane crash and realizes he has a huge gash in his head. He takes in all of his new surroundings. Chapter 7.
Chapter 5 in Hatchet. Brian is sitting and thinking about his surroundings, and when he gets attacked by an angry swarm of mosquitoes. Annoyed, he goes inside and rubs mud on his face to prevent them from attacking him.
Chapter 6. Brian is hungry. Brian finds berries and eats all of them. Gobble, 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 gobble. Then Brian goes to his shelter and sleeps. I like Ziggy.
Chapter 7. Brian tries to make a fire using his hatchet. It finally works.
Chapter 8. Brian's asleep in his shelter when a porcupine accidentally wanders in. Brian throws the hatchet at the porcupine, but misses and hits the wall and creates sparks. The porcupine runs into Brian, leaves clothes, and then walks away. The next morning, Brian gets up and has to take out quills one by one. When he finishes, he's exhausted.
Go back to sleep.
Chapter 9. Brian tries to spear fish using his wooden stick. It doesn't work.
Chapter 10. Brian walks on the beach and finds some turtle eggs. He eats one and then takes them back to his shelter. Brian then takes another one and buries them down deep into his shelter.
Yummy, yummy.
Chapter 11.
I need some more wood.
Yay!
can't get it. Maybe I should invent a bow and arrow. I have dinner.
Chapter 12. Brian sees a plane and tries to signal it.
Hey, 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 come here, come here, come here, come here.
But he is too late.
Oh man, I was too late. Oh.
Chapter 13.
Brian catches many fish with his bow and arrow. Then Brian has a feast.
Chapter 14 of Hatchet. Brian is thinking about how long he has been stranded when he hears a noise near where he hid his turtle eggs. Curious, he goes outside and is surprised to find a skunk. He then throws a rock at the skunk, which angers it and makes it spray him.
Brian's hungry and he gets annoyed with those little fool bird pests. So he tries to hit them with the spear, but he keeps on missing. Then, after many tries, he never gets it and then invents the bow and arrow. When he does the bow and arrow, he misses the first few times, but then he gets right on and kills one. Then he takes the fool bird back to his shelter where he roasts it and eats it.
Yum.
Chapter 16.
La, la, la.
My back, my side, ow. It's gone. Chapter 17.
Oh no, I dropped my hatchet.
Chapter 18.
That was gross. The survival pack. Yahoo!
Did it. Finally.
Chapter 19. Brian goes into the plane and finds the survival pack. There's instant food in there that he needs. While he's enjoying his wonderful feast, a plane comes by and picks him up. It caught on his radio signal.
On his radio
Epilogue. After Brian gets rescued, he's famous. He gets asked very many times and gets pictures taken of him all the time. After Brian gets rescued and famous, he gets asked to write a book about his adventures. Then he goes to the grocery store and with his mom and sees all the food. He thinks how glorious it is to see that you can just buy food instead of having to actually go and kill it. Sometimes he would just stare at the food all day. Then Brian goes back to his home and does research about all the animals and plants that he's seen. So then he goes to bed and sometimes still dreams about the lake and animals, all of the stuff that he sees in the woods.
The end.